The encounter began unexpectedly when a wild boar charged with sudden force, catching the group unprepared. In the commotion, one member of the team was injured and had to be taken back to the village for treatment. This incident underscored the urgency and danger of the mission, where every second could make a difference. The team quickly prepared for action, equipping themselves with motorboats, binoculars, compasses, and firearms. The hunting grounds for that day were not rivers filled with fish, but the water canals near the village, an unusual place where wild boars had gathered to cool off during the heat. Their presence posed a direct risk to both crops and community safety. Moving silently across the calm waters, the group spotted a dark shape resting in the water. With precision, the first shot was taken, and the animal was brought down instantly. This marked the beginning of a long day. The sound of gunfire startled the rest of the herd, sending them rushing toward the sparse trees nearby in an attempt to escape. Closing in, the team fired in unison, quickly reducing the immediate threat. Some animals scattered into the distance, but pursuit continued with careful coordination. Intercepting the herd at multiple points, several more targets were neutralized, demonstrating the importance of maintaining control over the situation. As the sun climbed higher, the hunt extended deeper along the canal. One wild boar attempted to climb the bank to escape, but precise timing and accurate shooting prevented it from fleeing. At this stage, the group introduced trained hunting dogs to track movement more effectively. The barking echoed across the fields, guiding the hunters toward hidden animals, where swift shots were taken to restore calm. By the afternoon, boats expanded the reach of the search. Moving quickly across the river, the sound of the engine flushed boars from their hiding spots in thick reeds. Several attempts to escape were cut short through decisive actions, ensuring the safety of farmland along the river's edge. As daylight began to fade, the last effort of the day was made to corner and contain one final animal. Using the speed of the boat, the group prevented its escape, and the hunt drew to a close. The long day ended with a measure of relief, knowing that the immediate threat to the village had been reduced. Beyond this single mission, however, wild boar populations remain a significant challenge in many regions. In the United States alone, numbers have risen dramatically, now estimated at nearly 10 million. Texas is home to roughly one-third of the country's total population, making it the most heavily affected state. These animals are highly adaptive and elusive, often taking cover in dense forests and wetlands. Managing them requires both persistence and strategy, as they reproduce quickly and can cause severe agricultural damage. This is why, in many areas, efforts to control their numbers continue through coordinated measures involving local communities, authorities, and professional teams. The day's events illustrated not only the risks of close encounters, but also the determination needed to safeguard farmland and ensure the livelihood of farmers. Each mission is a reminder that the challenge is far from over, and protecting the balance between wildlife and human settlement will remain an ongoing effort. The early morning began with a clean and efficient takedown, reflecting the careful preparation and effort of the team. After a long silence in the forest, the faint barking of trained hunting dogs signaled movement from the eastern side. Soon, a large wild boar was cornered. With no route of escape, a decisive shot ended the standoff quickly and effectively. The assistance of the dogs proved invaluable, as they worked tirelessly to locate and restrain the animals within dense terrain. Wild boars are known to use thick vines and heavy undergrowth as cover, making them difficult to track, but with skillful coordination, the hunters were able to respond with precision. Another successful shot brought the encounter to a swift conclusion. After a brief rest, the team pressed on. Wild boars appeared one after another, their movements revealed through careful observation and the persistent barking of the dogs. In one instance, the size and strength of a cornered animal made it particularly difficult to subdue, yet persistence and accurate timing ensured that it could not escape. As evening approached, more animals were located in dense thickets, typical hiding spots that provide shade and protection. Each time, the hunters combined strategy, experience, and assistance from the dogs to bring the situation under control. These successes demonstrated the importance of both planning and teamwork in managing such encounters. Beyond the day's events, the broader issue remains clear. Wild boars multiply quickly and can devastate farmland in large numbers. Reports from across rural regions often describe significant crop losses caused by herds moving into cultivated areas. As a result, Coordinated hunting efforts are launched with the aim of reducing damage and protecting agricultural livelihoods. In France, grasslands have become hotspots where wild boar herds gather in large groups, often damaging entire fields in a short period of time. Local teams move swiftly in response, tracking animals as they charge across open ground before retreating into dense forest for cover. Through careful coordination and timely actions, some are intercepted before further damage can be done. Elsewhere, similar challenges occur. In Texas, for example, the wild boar population has grown rapidly, leading to substantial agricultural losses. Night operations are sometimes carried out, with hunters using specialized equipment such as infrared scopes to detect movement in low light. Despite efforts, many animals still escape, underlining the difficulty of controlling populations that are both resilient and adaptive. The story of wild boar management is one of constant vigilance. Each operation highlights the challenges of working in difficult terrain, the value of trained dogs, and the need for advanced tools. At the same time, it reminds us of the broader responsibility to balance human needs with wildlife management, ensuring both farmland protection and ecological stability. In addition to the agricultural damage, wild boars present another pressing issue: the spread of diseases. These animals are known carriers of parasites and viruses such as swine fever, which not only affect other wildlife but also pose serious risks to domestic pig populations. A single infected herd can trigger outbreaks that devastate farming communities, forcing authorities to impose strict biosecurity measures. Consequently, disease control has become a crucial part of wild boar management, extending the challenge far beyond protecting crops. Moreover, the destruction they cause to natural habitats is just as severe as their impact on farmland. In forests, wild boars uproot vegetation while searching for roots and insects, leaving the soil exposed to erosion. This disrupts the regeneration of trees, alters water flow, and diminishes the quality of habitats for countless other species. In wetlands, their wallowing behavior destroys reeds and aquatic plants, undermining fragile ecosystems that support birds, amphibians, and fish. In this way, their presence reshapes entire landscapes, often irreversibly. At the same time, wild boars have proven to be remarkably intelligent and resourceful animals. They learn quickly from failed hunting attempts, change their movement patterns, and even shift to nocturnal habits to avoid human activity. Their ability to adapt to pressure makes them one of the most challenging species to manage. For this reason, experts increasingly study their behavior using GPS collars and field surveys, hoping to predict their movement and anticipate problem areas before herds arrive. While many strategies focus on controlling existing populations, prevention also plays a key role. Farmers have begun investing in reinforced fencing, electrified barriers, and motion detection systems to deter wild boars before they reach crops. Some communities employ scent deterrents or sound devices that mimic predators, creating an environment of uncertainty for approaching herds. Although not always fully effective, these measures reduce reliance on direct confrontation and provide farmers with a first line of defense. Furthermore, cultural attitudes toward wild boars vary widely across regions. In some European countries, they are considered a valuable game species, with regulated hunting seasons supporting both tradition and local economies. In contrast, in areas like parts of the United States or Asia, they are viewed almost entirely as pests, with management aimed strictly at reduction. This difference in perspective often shapes the tools, resources, and policies allocated to dealing with them, creating a diverse global picture of how humanity responds to the same challenge. In recent years, researchers have also explored biological control methods, including immunocontracceptives that reduce fertility rates within herds. These approaches, while still experimental, hold promise as a humane way to stabilize populations without large-scale culling. However, questions remain about their cost, effectiveness, and long-term ecological consequences. Balancing innovation with practicality is an ongoing debate in the search for lasting solutions. Finally, the rise of climate change adds another layer of complexity. Warmer winters and longer growing seasons provide wild boars with extended opportunities to feed and reproduce. As snow covers less ground, their access to food improves, allowing populations to thrive in regions where they were once naturally limited. This expansion into new territories means that communities previously untouched by the issue may soon face the same struggles already well known in heavily affected areas.